All right, let's talk about the cemetery thing. Israeli military, we have to raise the cemetery because of a tunnel. CNN says, can we see the hole to prove that? Let's watch the whole thing.
The shaft. We're asking the general if we can actually see the shaft to the tunnel.
But the answer is no.
So?
There's all kinds of machinery which I don't want you to take pictures of.
Yeah, don't do it. You can't take pictures. You fall in. You fucking fall in. Mate, you fucking fall in. Done.
Security my force.
But what about if we don't film it? We just...
It's security. It's a fucking security. He's an apartheid alumnus? Yeah. What is that accent? He's South African. He's a Afrikaner, mate. I'm not doing a good job. The tunnel likely ran under the cemetery, but the entrance to it was literally hundreds of meters away. See the first video? Yeah, there are miles and miles and miles of tunnels under all of Gaza. The notion that you're like arriving at the tunnel by like desecrating a cemetery is ridiculous. The reason why they raise parts of Gaza specifically to find entrances to the tunnel, not to like, so if there's no entrance there, you're just basically digging up a tunnel for no, not a tunnel. You're digging up a cemetery for no reason. Yeah. They claim to deface the cemetery to look at hostages first. Yeah. Also, they literally lied about the fucking situation too. They originally said that they were defacing cemeteries because they had to find hostages. They did not deface the Jewish cemetery though. Maybe they hid the hostages in the Jewish cemetery. They didn't deface that one though. They only deface the Christian and Muslim cemeteries. Interesting. From World War I, brother, it's fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. My point is like they are. It's just. Norman disagrees that there are 400 miles of tunnels. All the evidence are Israeli officials. No, I believe that. Like, I believe that. Bro, there are tunnels that cars can go through. Come on. Dude. Like, I don't believe that there are 400 miles of tunnels because what Israel is saying. I believe it because I've seen the tunnels. And some of those are like genuinely well built. That would be bigger than the New York City metro system. It's just not possible. Dude, I don't know, man. There are basically large enough tunnels that cars can go through. It's pretty solid. He doesn't disagree that there are tunnels. He disagrees with 400 miles of it. Yeah. Anyway, marvels of human engineering for sure. Oh, 400 kilometers, not miles. So it would be like 200 miles for the record. Not 400 miles. It's 400 kilometers of tunnels. I'm butchering the quotes here. Bro, dude, come on. In northern Gaza, in southern Gaza, Hamas has a presence everywhere, okay? Like, there's a reason why those red triangle videos are so nutty. And it is not because Al-Qassam brigades are not like walking around with a fucking rocket-propelled grenade launcher on their arms, chilling, okay, and like coming up to the ass cheeks of the Israeli occupying force casually. They're popping in and out. It's not 400 miles of tunnels, sorry. It's 400 kilometers of tunnels, which would be like around 200 miles of tunnels. Yeah, they're popping up from tunnels everywhere and shooting them and running back into those tunnels. Yeah. People also think like those tunnels are long. No, those tunnels are long like your intestines are long, okay? It's not like the tunnel system is just like a straight shot. It's probably a grid and also looping too. So like that's why it's around 200 plus miles. So no, I do believe that. Yeah. Anyway.
Just
No
look with our eyes.
security,
If
and
we-
then you might fall in. The whole thing can collapse. Or you have to walk to the edge. The edge is not secured. It can collapse. There's machinery, so on. It's not something I'm going to take a risk on.
Yeah, dude, you can't, dude. If I show you the tunnel, you'll die. If I show you the entrance of the tunnel that definitely is there, you'll die. Okay, please step away from the entrance of the tunnel. This is like, unironically, I mean, this is decent journalism. Maybe there is an entrance of the tunnel. Why the fuck aren't you showing it to the journalists?
Sorry.
The Israeli military later provided this drone footage, showing the tunnel shaft we entered and another one nearby. CNN geolocated the footage using this satellite image. This outline shows where the cemetery once stood, and these are the two tunnel entrances clearly outside the graveyard.
Huh. Why did they send that footage in as though they found the entrance inside the cemetery though? This is almost certainly bullshit, but they dropped this footage. The Embassy of Israel in the USA, Hamas headquarters under a cemetery under the Bani Suhaila Cemetery in Han Yunis. Hamas, like a terror tunnel, uses a command center. Okay, I don't believe. Dude, come on, dude. Come on. Bro, they got a command center everywhere, okay? Everywhere. You don't understand. Command center under every hospital, command center under every target. Terror tunnels. These guys have so many commanders. They have so many commanders that it's starting to look like the IDF with the rank inflation. And that's why they need so many command centers, okay? Command and control, Tiberian Sun. The IDF says it discovered a tunnel that ran underneath the Bani Suhaila cemetery that contained a hideout for senior Hamas officials. The tunnel contained an operations room, a command and control center, and living quarters for Hamas officials. The tunnel was also used by Han Yunis battalion commander to manage the October 7 attack. Dude, oh my God. Oh.
As for the tunnel they say they found here, where the cemetery once stood, the military never provided any evidence.
I found a Hamas commander in my cereal box today. Yeah. That's because in Hamas they do horizontalism. So through are all commanders. Yeah. Yeah, everyone is a commander, dude. Dude, all things considered, it is genuinely impressive that they've been able to build so many goddamn tunnels underneath while like directly being under siege. Okay. That part is wild. Wild rank inflation in Hamas. Yeah, there is. I don't think there's any rank inflation in Hamas, but it is shocking to me, at least. But I think it's yet another testament to like, it is yet another testament to the way that man operates, okay? Under the most gruesome conditions, they always end up finding a way to survive. This is a important part of this process that I try to describe to people, and why I say Hamas or Palestinians are not actually a problem that you can solve militarily. You have to fucking deal with this politically. You know what I mean? This is yeah. Elon has a good take here. I think the tunnels footage is probably real. What's really important is that none of this matters. I mean, I'm laughing at the idea that it's a command center underneath the underneath there as well. Just like the command center that they showed for Al-Shifa was ridiculous. They openly admitted that the command center that they had under the Al-Shifa hospital was just a bunch of fucking empty rooms, and the other side of it was directly sealed. As in, people had not been there before October 7 and not since, okay? They openly showed that the supposed command center that required them to siege the largest hospital in Gaza and kill a shit ton of people, okay, was a dud. And then they said the headquarters moved to another hospital. No, I know. I'm saying first they said it was a command center. And then they said, oh, just kidding. The headquarters, it wasn't even a command center. Sorry. They said it was a headquarters. And then they said, oh, just kidding. They actually moved the headquarters to another hospital. And it was just it was a command node. Anyway. Maybe Hamas are reporting these command centers to the IDF as counterintelligence. The IDF chooses to report it anyway. No, dude. I think they just don't give a shit. They're just behaving like monsters and then looking for any kind of rationalization that they can. And that's why you always see, look, that's why you always hear suspiciously about like whichever target is getting like media attention. CNN does a coverage a week ago about 16 cemeteries that the Israeli occupying force has desecrated, which is a war crime. Okay? So then what do? 16 cemeteries are desecrated. They go, oh, well, guess what? There was a tunnel and a command structure underneath underneath the cemetery. It's like, okay, there is no reason to ever blow up the cemetery on top of it. Okay, to arrive at the kitchen and the munitions building place over the fucking over the cemetery. The entire point is you go to where the fucking entry point is. That's how you deal with the tunnels, supposedly. Which they did. They already found the entry points and the exit points. So they don't have to fucking literally go and raise the cemetery above it. They don't have to do that. Just like Elite News also correctly pointed to, you can't blow up a hospital, and you must not blow up a hospital under any fucking circumstance whatsoever and then claim that there's like, well, there's tunnels underneath it. Ridiculous. Do you guys not understand my point? This is not ample justification for desecrating a cemetery. Your point reminds me of a Rashid Khalidi point from 1985 where he said that the PLO would never hide among civilian populations because they know for a fact that Israel doesn't care and will target civilians, so it's of no strategic advantage to them, so they will to do so, they will get targeted anyways. Yes, and that point remains true to this day, which is why everyone goes, oh, dude, Hamas uses human shields. Human shields only work as a shield if the other party that is doing the devastation has like a sense of humanity, okay? And goes, oops, better think twice before blowing up this school. It doesn't fucking matter to Israel. They've shown time and time again that they don't give a fuck. They don't see the humans in Gaza as humans, okay? That's not how human shields work. Anyway, my point is this. These tunnels have been built many, many years ago and have been likely utilized. The whole point is that the iOS barely cares about Israelis, let alone Palestinians. Exactly. The reason why they show this footage is for justification, post hoc rationalizations and justifications. What do I mean by this? 16 cemeteries are desecrated. CNN writes a report on it. 2 weeks later, they're like, up. This is why we had to do it to them. Okay? This is why we had to do it to them, because guess what? There's stuff underneath those cemeteries. Do you understand? That's it. There's back and forth about Israel would never blow up a hospital. Up. Week later, they're like, well, guess what? Here's the evidence that there is a Hamas command and control, a base of operations, a headquarters underneath the hospital. Well, we don't have the evidence yet, but here is a 3D imagery that we created. Or they have like a Zoom call room and a pool hall, right? That's it. The major reason as to why they're doing this is not to like access these tunnels, because you access tunnels with the entry points, which are not underneath or inside of the graveyard at all, cemeteries at all. Yeah, they're like, oh, look at the Hamas terror tunnels with the gaming and the podcast room. You know what I mean? And it's still bullshit. There has literally been more fucking evidence of Bigfoot at this point than any single fucking claim that Israel has made have provided literally no material evidence of any claim they've made. Yes. So it's that's the reason why originally they didn't even say like there are headquarters underneath the fucking cemetery. So what is the actual reason they're desecrating cemeteries? What do you mean? Complete erasure of all Palestinian existence. That's it. This is a common technique in ethnic cleansing campaigns. That's it. It's genocide. Erasure of all Palestinian existence. You take the manuscripts, you take like all historic evidence, you steal it, you take it back to Israel like they did, you parade it, you delete it. That's it. That's the goal. The purpose of this desecration of graveyards, which is ironic, as you would think, like, what is the tactical reason for it? What is the tactical reason for it? And it's like, no, this is done only in this is only done in circumstances where the goal is to basically erase all record keeping and all matter of existence of Palestinians. Even giving the most absolute charitable interpretation a disregard for the sanctity of Palestinian life even after death, you don't really have to believe it's intentional genocidal, though the evidence points in that direction. Yeah. Knesset voted to relegate Qasif today? Shit. Typical Nazi shit. U.S. did the same to the Native Americans. Soon Israel will use Palestinian imagery as sports mascots. I don't think they will. I don't think they'll do that. They just don't want to even agree that there is such a thing as Palestinians. All of this goes in that direction. Megay62, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Yeah, just always remember the contrast between the way that the Israeli occupying forces treated Palestinian cemeteries versus the Jewish cemeteries that have been there since World War I.